gonna tell you Drake ain't bitch, you gonna tell you some dumb shit.
Drake's dressing over a girl? That would be hard to believe.
He gonna tell you some dumb shit.
I don't think Drake's like in his feelings about girls. I feel like he might be in his feelings about the entirety of women. Like he's banged them all / like doesn't know where to go from here.
It's always one that gets you like that.
So you think that there's still a girl who's yet to be discovered by Drake?
It's a girl that
I think he's f***ed them all. I don't think
it ain't about.
there's nothing left.
It's one that he's concerned about. It's always one. I done seen the best of them. You know what I'm saying? I done been in these spaces where I done seen the people that people would never think would care about any of that. It's that one. Like with Puff at one time, believe it or not, it was Cassie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As much as you saw him running around do what he was doing.
But how old was she when he discovered her?
Like 20?
I feel that's what I'm saying. Is that like for Drake, I feel like any girl out there, he's already met them all. So it's either like you're drafting very young women or you're going to have to re-rock something. Because realistically, I just feel like he f***ed every girl that he probably wanted to.
It's that one somewhere that he didn't kept in contact with. It's that one somewhere he ain't let the media see. That one that know how to conduct herself and stay low and don't open her mouth. And then when she stops answering the phone or blocks him, it's that one. It's always that one that got your number.
Do you think he wish he had a shoulder to cry on during the beef?
That's probably that one.
You know so you think she does exist? We just don't know about her.
She exists. He's a human and he's a man.
Ironically, when I was in Houston this weekend, Drake was also in Houston, which I did not know until I saw a clip of Rico Reckless saying hello to him in the club.
He always down there.
Yeah, it's kind of his second home.
He always down there. It's a DJ dude down there real tight with. I forget his name.
And I saw Jay Prince Jr. and
was he doing the antics? Hey, so what's going on? That's his like
what the fuck was that?
That's his Denzel Washington talk. He talks very totally different.
I was a little concerned that he might not be feeling me because I talk to you on the podcast regularly.
What I got to do with you?
I mean, because you're always saying something about them.
Yeah, but that's way before you. That ain't got nothing to do with no jumper.
Yeah, but a lot of people tend to kind of just assume that
that's cap.
Things that you have said to me are also my opinions.
That's cap. That whole shit was before you.
I've never said anything bad about YG, but YG dismissed me when I saw him because I'm sitting next to Brick Baby talking crazy about him.
That's because you talking crazy about him.
But I'm just sitting there like, but I still get judged.
No, you must have said something.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I mean,
in fact, I intentionally left him out of the conversation during some very serious events from
he shouldn't have tripped in. Like he shouldn't have tripped in. That means he's always had a problem with you.
Because if somebody give a fuck about me,
if somebody's there, they talk and he sees the fact that we see you stay out of it is a gesture of respect.
But I feel like he's not necessarily paying close enough attention to realize that I'm trying to stay out of it when I'm like intentionally sitting next to someone like you and Brick over and over who are just dissing him repeatedly.
Who dissing YG repeatedly? I ain't never dissed.
I feel like you and I have been through that. Brick definitely slammed him.
Well, I don't know. I just I don't even think we had a conversation about the Blueface thing, maybe, and other than that.
Brick called him an op lover also.
Op lover?
Yeah.
Who was he?
I think.
Who did YG team up with? Because YG and Nipsey was close.
Yeah. I forget because I think it ended up kind of not making sense because I think he was mad at YG for.
Here goes the thing. Here goes what's funny about that. Brick had a DP coming for protecting YG.
What does that mean?
They was coming out. I think Big U's son had got disrespected out of spot because 600 was there. They rolled up there to do something to YG.
600 did.
No, it was a bunch of 60s went up there. 600 was just with him. They had disrespected Big U's son or something.
And this was how long ago?
Probably about 5-6 years ago.
And Brick Baby protected YG.
I can call 600 right now. Everybody got DP for it, but Brick didn't show up. He got YG out the back and left with him. And he put YG in his car. He jumped in the car on YG. He eluded him and got it. While they're looking for him, Brick's moving him elsewhere.
You gotta protect the bag.
So they had a relationship prior to. Probably happened. YG about to stop answering his calls. Did some industry shit. You know, that happens.
Yeah,
You got to know how to deal with that.
I mean, they were cool at one point. Brick. There's a song with Compton AD and Brick Baby on a YG album.
Yeah, I don't.
That's some no.
I don't got no direct problems. I mean, you know, my issue came when he did some weird shit when we was getting ready to do when we did a collab song called Bloods, Crips, Power Rules.
Right.
And it was YG, OT, Genesis, Mozzie, and we put Blueface on there. And came time to shoot the video, and he was like, "I shoot the video, but you got to take Blueface off the verse. He doing too much cripping." And I was confused because Famous Crip was out when you got on the remix, Tatiana. Like, you can't do too much more cripping than that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, on the Dead Lokes, respect my cripping. All this is on the album, then all of a sudden, but I think what it was that Two-Face buzz was up. And I think he kind of looked at Blueface at that time that, okay, this little motherfucker got the potential to kind of steal the light at that time. Right. It was a different YG. And I just didn't understand it. And I was on the phone with my homeboy, Big Bruce from Compton Crip. And he was like, yo, that kind of odd because, you know, he used to be a Crip. I'm like, what? And they sent me the pictures and shit. You know, some like Gundry Block or some shit and something. It was, I was real confused at that point in time because nobody that used to be something can't say a dude is doing too much of that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So other than that, you know, maybe they was a little, you know what though? You might have a problem with you because you was a big Draco fan.
I don't think that's enough for him to give a fuck about.
Shit. Boy, that's what it is.
If I can sit with Munchie every week, I think I could shake hands with YG.
Who was Munchie?
Draco's main antagonist at a certain point.
Nah, he didn't. Bro, come on. Let's be real. No shade on Munchie. Let's just keep it real. Bro, I gave Munchie B his presence on YouTube.
All I'm saying is that
I'm going to be real,
Munchie
bro.
B addressed Draco relentlessly while YG more or less never directly responded to him.
Nobody heard it. But you had Draco.
On an LA level.
You heard Draco speaking on YG all the time, right?
And Munchie.
And YG, nobody, I didn't know who the fuck Munchie B was till he came on Clubhouse and I embarrassed his ass. And then it went viral from there. That's when his grandma came in there and told him he using up all the Wi-Fi.
I would like to pivot. I want to hook these people in by talking to you about the fact that 607 Unc, after last week's performance in which he disrespected the B team, created commotion all over the city, that I left Thursday night to go to Texas. On Friday, Unc and 4Extra down, and they had a conversation on camera.
I told you not to do that.
Has gone extremely viral.
Didn't I tell you not to do that?
I do recall you saying that.
I said, don't do it.
We got security here. Somehow there was a lapse in which I believe too many people were allowed in here, but 607 Unc basically got called out by 4Extra. 4Extra more or less
called him out.
Indirectly or directly told him that he would essentially make him stop breathing. Unc, honestly, like, it's kind of bizarre. He drove down, like literally the next day, he drove to Texas to meet up with us. We hung out for 3 hours, didn't see him again after that.
So before you announced he's not coming back.
This is before anything regarding him quitting.
No, before, yeah, I talked to him for like an hour.
Okay.
Calmed him down. He was cool.
Yeah.
Because I pointed out to him, what you do, 607 Unc, is you do a bunch of weird shit. You say a bunch of outrageous shit to get the people's attention. and then you deliver your message, right? He said, Wack, that's exactly what I do. I said, okay. And you did it in your way of doing it, right? Right. I said, okay.
What was the message that came after Hoover blank remover?
Hold on.
I missed that.
No, you're missing the point. It's his overall, as weird as 607 acts, he always goes to some type of, the man is not stupid.
No.
His plays crazy. He always goes to something biblical or what people need to stop doing. He'll do a bunch of weird shit, look around, whatever, on my mama line, or just to get you to look at him, and then he'll try to deliver a message from his perception. I told 607, 4Extras did the same thing. If he's here with 30, 40 dudes, I said, was you touched? No. Did they rob you? No. They didn't kick in your ass, spit on you, go in your pockets? No. But it got your attention, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. And his message was, stop playing with this West Coast gangbang culture, right? Yeah. Did you hear him? Yeah. But then you wouldn't have heard it any other time. So he did to you what you do to everybody else, just in his way. Because if they wanted to get him, he would have been got.
Right.
That wasn't the mission. The mission was to get your attention. And I applaud 4Extras, because the 4Extras that we know would have did something to him, right? But he didn't. And that's out of respect of his work. 4Extras know that this is his workplace. Right? But everything he did got his attention. I said, did you hear what he said? Yeah, I heard. Yeah, y'all act different when it comes to that. Okay, so now his message was delivered. 607, you wouldn't, if somebody would have been just trying to talk to you regular, you gonna troll. You're not gonna hear nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I said, so you can't get mad at 4Extras for you to doing it his way if you don't want us to get mad at you for doing it your way.
Right. Like, my perspective is that everybody involved is at least a little bit guilty. I think that the No Jumper staff, as much as it was good that we had security on deck, they fucked up by allowing too many people to be in the building. That's just not, we're not equipped to deal with that many people. It's just not, it's not okay. We got to set harsher standards and be more strict about this. 4Extra, I feel like, was wrong because he was probably too aggressive. I don't think the words "I'm going to kill you" should ever really leave your mouth when you're communicating with somebody else that you work with or that is part of the No Jumper team. I appreciate that he didn't do anything physical, but I think that he probably crossed a few lines. I'm going to send this to him so that I don't have to repeat this, but I feel like he crossed a few lines by saying, "I'm going to kill you." Okay. If that actually happened. Well, it really basically happened in the podcast.
Okay, so is a dude crossing lines by saying something that rings "come kill me"? Is a dude crossing lines who's putting people in this building in situations that they may not want to be in, because that disrespectful shit he said to Munchie, right? It puts people in the situation.
I completely agree. And I feel like, despite the fact that No Jumper staff was at fault for not having, obeyed the rules about how many people were able to come in, and despite the fact that 4Extra crossed some sort of line when he was yelling at Unc, the original sin in all of this, and the main message that so many of us seem to have respected over the years that Unc doesn't seem to get, is that LA street shit is taken extremely seriously.
That's a fact.
And what he said to Munchie was completely out of bounds and should never have happened. And in addition to that, I get it, but all the jokes that he was making about 4X, primarily implying gay shit, just not going to go.
But who else crossed the line though? I mean, we're going to keep it real. Like, let's keep it real. Who else crossed the line? You know, this 2025, this ain't 1825. You crossed the line.
What'd I do?
Because you initiated all that talk about 4Extras to even allow the door to be open for this dude to say what he said.
When did I coax him into saying some gay shit?
You start talking about whatever's supposed to happen. He keeps screaming it.
What?
He like, yo, Fo, why you get mad at me when I was responding to what Adam said? That's all he been screaming.
Wait, who was responding to what I said?
607 keeps screaming. 4Extras, why you tripping on me, but you ain't said nothing to Adam when I'm responding to what Adam said
But
about
I never
you?
said any gay shit about him besides
what
this carrot allegation, which I don't even think is technically gay.
But what did you say? Because it's all he's screaming.
I don't know, but I mean,
You don't remember what you said?
I probably said.
But you remember what everybody else said.
The only gay shit that I would. You're talking about like a random podcast
don't know
I did
what you
months ago.
said.
The only thing I would ever have said about For Extras that was in any way gay was just talking about the carrot thing.
Okay, but you talked about it with 607. You
Yeah, we for sure discussed that.
okay, so
But
if
I
you,
discussed that with a lot of people.
but if you never,
He's the one who went to a different level and said basically like really gay shit about For Extras. that he was
so
gonna
if you
feel
would have
away
never opened that door, it would have never been an extended conversation.
Listen, I didn't pull this carrot rumor out of thin air. This was something that was already being discussed
That
on a
come from
variety
Ann
of
Hefe.
channels.
And Hefe said he talked to somebody,
Right.
which I'm not going because he from A Trey Gangster. They enemies. So anything he talking about with 4 Extras, I'm going to take with a grain of salt unless he got it.
Although it was pointed out that Spody Face did a podcast with Ann Hefe. So if he could do it, why can't For Extras?
Because 4 Extras is 4 Extras.
Yeah.
Spody Face is Spody Face.
I know. But either way, all I'm saying is that 607 Unk, his whole thing is like disrespecting gangs and shit. Like, or at least that's one
no,
arc
I told
to
him
his,
that. I said, bro,
his humor.
You
It's not
saying,
gonna work out.
you
man.
saying I'm blood cripping, bro. All that. I say, I don't know how the Chicago dude's taking it. People don't play with that out here.
Yeah.
I told him that. You know what I'm saying?
You can just imagine that, like, if he didn't learn this lesson now, he was going to keep doing this. And you can imagine what he would say to a Crip to get a crazy, outrageous moment. If he
Yeah.
keeps, like, he's done enough. If he's going to keep trying to run this little gimmick into the
gonna
ground,
get
it's
hurt.
not going to be good.
No, he's gonna get hurt, bro.
Yeah.
And now he made it dangerous. 'Cause look, let's kill this podcast shit. You dissed everything that come with a burgundy and a red flag. Everything, right? So that means if you out getting gas and the average little dude see you, or you just want to go to the mall, or you sitting there eating, fuck the rappers and the YouTubers. You just open the door to everybody. That's not directed at Munchie. That's directed at anything that fall up under that flag.
And my main thing with Unk too is I was just telling him, I'm like, listen, we can agree that multiple mistakes were made by the staff, by me for even doing this without being there to maybe be a moderator. Lush was the only person who was there, and he's just
Lush can't do that.
he's just incapable
Lush
of
is
finding.
handicapped.
Yeah.
Why y'all act like Lush ain't handicapped?
What's his handicap?
With one leg is shorter than the other.
I didn't even know that.
He walks with a gimp. This is a fact.
I thought he was just drunk.
Bro, he walks with one foot is flat, the other one is on the ball of his foot. He walks, bro. He walks like he's handicapped.
I didn't even know that. Either way, this is my thing.
You telling me you don't see that?
I haven't paid attention to how he walks.
You bro. I'm
Now that you said it, for sure, I'm going to be thinking about it.
bro, when you see him, he walks like this. It's like one foot is
Like a
longer.
penguin.
Like yeah, bro. Like it's something going on.
He does look like a penguin.
Like listen, before I met Lush, I wanted to do something to him.
Pause.
My first time, I don't pause nothing.
Okay.
Because y'all might be on some freaky shit. Do something to him where I come from, touch you in a way that you don't want to be touched physically as far as with these hands, right?
Oh.
So I ain't no pause. 'cause
It still needed a pause for so much of what you just
No,
said.
because here goes the thing. If I say hey bro, I came through the back door to get in there.
Yeah.
That mean I came through a door with a knob, a lock.
Hey, yo.
Y'all mind be on everything. Anybody that does this extra pausing, and I gotta say, what's the nigga name?
I try not
He
to do
does
it.
the
But
most.
you're pushing me to my
What's
limit.
the dude? What's the dude? Dame, is it Dame Dash?
Dame Dash is the king.
Dame Dash is gay as His
Yeah.
mind is tuned to sexual acts on men. His whole conversation, every 10 words, he paused in 5 of them.
No, it's insane. I agree.
Right?
He's probably
So-
the worst offender. But he,
But
he
what- but
basically
what-
invented it.
But when Lush walked out, the first time I seen him, I said, oh, bro, you can't, this dude's handicapped, bro. You can't do that.
Okay. What were we talking about? Basically, I just don't appreciate Unk playing the victim when all this shit is so obviously caused by him, because now he's also trying to blame me, saying that our titles were too crazy.
He told me the same shit. I said,
Bruh,
I said
Rick Baby
607.
never complained about the
I
titles.
said 607. all of our names get put in some crazy clickbait titles. You ain't nobody special, bro.
I also just feel like we don't really cross lines in terms of titles in comparison to what everybody else is out there doing. I feel like
Bro,
our titles are very restrained.
That come with the game. But I said, bro, you playing victim and you violate and say the most craziest, disrespectful shit about everybody. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying.
So, you know,
he's a bad victim. It's just not. It's not working.
I mean, I'm just telling you. I told him, like, look, bro, you got to take the good with the bad. You know what I'm saying?
We got. Let's see what titles we actually did here. Okay, 607 disrespects Bloods. Munchie ain't feeling it. This is restrained.
That's the truth.
That is 100% what happened. 607 quits. No jumper after 4 extra threatening to kill him. He can't take issue with that.
That's against 4 extra. I didn't like you putting that title up.
Munchie B speaks on 607 dissing the Bloods. I mean, these are not spicy titles in comparison to a lot of other titles that are being used out there about this very topic. It could have
said 4 extras, first podcaster to threaten to kill an alien.
No, it could have
said 4 extras gets into a Pookie.
You want a viral title? All the Bloods in Los Angeles are going to want to kill 607 Unc now. That's a viral title.
Or it could have said 607 Unc says all the Bloods in LA are weak.
Exactly.
And then press that. At that point, it's a problem.
But comparison, 7 Unc on accidentally dissing the Bloods in front of Munchie B. That is the most restrained. Even that is giving him a huge benefit of the doubt. That's what I'm saying.
Double down.
If anything, our titles are too polite to the point where they're not true.
He doubled down and then he stood on it and said, well, you know, as a Crip, that's what we say.
Yeah. I mean, Tay F3rd says Munchie B should have beat 607 Unc for dissing Bloods.
That's a fact.
This is not clickbait titles. Like, calling these clickbait titles is totally disingenuous. Anyway, I want him back. I want us to continue to develop our relationship content wise and continue to do content together. Obviously, we need to be a little bit more careful about who we put him with.
Adam.
What?
There's no jumper, bro. We on the West Coast. We don't want nothing back, don't want to be here. Fucking straight up. We ain't finna look like in no shape, form, or fashion that we begging or catering to nobody. This motherfucker, this boat, this ship been shot up and damn near tilted sideways. And you stood on this motherfucker. I jumped on this motherfucker and you did what you do. And we got this motherfucker back selling.
You talked to him for an hour on the phone and this is the message that you were left with is like,
no, I talked to him for an hour. And you can ask R&B, had him talking normal, without no antics. Like, you know what, Wack, understand what you're saying. And he was impressed that I understood his methods and what he was doing. I said, look, I'm not calling to check you. I'm not calling to disrespect you or tell you what to do. I'm calling to just educate you on this coast if you're going to be here. So he had what he said, and I said, you know what? You right. Like, I use my antics to get people's attention to deliver a message. Then you right. The fact I wasn't robbed or my ass whooped or nothing happened to me, he definitely showed me how it could have went. I said, okay, so that should teach you to tone that disrespect or even play. I said, bro, don't even play with no blood and power ruin and cripping out here, bro. Do your podcast how you do it, but stay away from that. He said, no, you're right. He definitely got my attention. He told me he was going to be back Tuesday. Right? That's what he told me. I go to sleep, wake up, I see your message. Right? I hit him. What? He come on my YouTube channel.
He drove to Texas.
He came on my YouTube channel.
He's very strange. He's a very different kind of guy.
Got on. He ain't stupid.
He's a different kind of guy.
He came on my YouTube channel. We talked about it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, I don't understand. I just talked to you. Everything was cool.
I mean, you got to give it to him that he really has successfully made himself the main character in all this shit for the past month or so.
Yeah, he's going to always be the main character wherever he at because he's the only one like him that does what he does. He is a more animated, more current, relevant form of Orlando Brown. Makes up shit, says a bunch of shit, but he's into his character. He knows, he done looked at himself and said, okay, you's an ugly motherfucker, what you gonna do with it? You know what I'm saying? And I can respect that. He like, nigga, fuck it, nigga, I'm gonna make noises. I'm gonna look in the air. I'm gonna do all that because if it's 5 people sitting at the table and we're doing what humans do, waiting for the shit to come on, and you got to do it over here with a cup doing this.
Yeah.
Right? At this point, everybody's paying attention to him.
I just wonder, like, how long that works for in terms of like pretending to be retarded.
I think he got a long lifespan. I think we're gonna look up and see 607 on television. I think he can do movies. I think he can be a character in movies. I think he can be all of that type of shit. I think he'd be a great role for this Friday movie coming up. There's always a crackhead or some weirdo that's doing some crazy shit on the block. And listen, I'm gonna be real. If it's working for him and it's getting paid respectfully, he can't take what I'm saying as disrespect because it's working for him. How many times you had Orlando up here? You didn't talk
only
to this
twice.
dude. Listen, you know damn well when you talking to this clown, everything coming out of his mouth some bullshit.
607 Hunk is a little bit more of like a real person than Orlando Brown. Also, Orlando Brown seems to be like meth fueled or like some drug. Definitely alcohol.
Bro, 607 is great for his character, what he does. And I think if he does the right thing with his character, his alter ego, because the man ain't no damn fool, he can go further. Now, does he stay in this podcast space only and do it? No, he need to move around into different things.
I'm just saying,
did he do some 20v1s? I don't know.
I think he has done stuff like that. Yeah. But all I'm saying is like, you have these characters who emerge in this sort of podcasting realm. Like take a look at Sharp. He comes out, he's got this gimmick. He's yelling at bitches. It's working. It's going great. He then sees that and he believes that he's the man and that he can do any kind of content he wants. So all of a sudden he's interviewing 60-year-old rappers and random people. And it's just like,
here's the difference,
he
though.
thought he was a star on a level that he clearly wasn't. Now 607 Hunk, he's out here. He's making every podcast that he's on fun and unpredictable. And it's working so good. But the thing about it is that we have to keep switching it up. You know, it's like it has to stay interesting, and the gimmick of dissing gangs is really not going to work.
Here's the difference between him and Sharp. Sharp wasn't funny. Unk is funny. Whether it's facial expressions, what he's saying, he's going to be like, what the hell?
With Sharp, a pure crash out. It was purely him being an irrational fucking monster, and then the girls trying to deal with it to one extent or another. But he ended up overthinking it and thinking that he was bigger than that. He should have kept doing that. He should still be yelling at hoes right now.
Yeah, if he would have stayed with the women.
Yeah,
he could have been the dude. What's that dude that died? He could have kind of like been in his lane, just on some
Kevin
pimp
Samuels.
shit. He like on some gorilla pimp type shit.
Because the problem with Sharp, and I can't believe that we're talking about Sharp, but the problem with Sharp is that he actually sucks with girls, and all of his big episodes were with girls that we got for him. And then once he started getting girls, they ended up being the leathery bar hounds.
But I will say this, damn homies, damn show broke his back. Damn homie showed that you really ain't that pimp that you said you was.
She's 50 Cent, he's Ja Rule.
Yeah, she damn show definitely. Shout out to damn homies.
Yeah.
She put his fire out.
She
showed that real intimate, weird side of him. Nigga, you cried over me. You drunk my urine. You did this. Like, so now niggas is like, hold on, bro.
You told me about your torso.
Yeah, like crazy. And now it's coming out.
Yeah.
Shit she said is coming out.
Yeah.
That's why I fuck with damn homies. I think I fuck with her because she's bold enough not to give a fuck. And you was loyal to Sharp. Remember, I wanted to bring her on the show, and you weren't fucking with it because of Sharp.
You hear that? They think I'm a soulless animal.
No, that's a fact.
That just wants to throw my host to the wolves.
I damn sure tried to bring you. Was like, I'm not feeling it.
That.
No, that's what happened.
I care deeply about all of my hosts, and I want the best for them. That's why I dissect their every move and micromanage everything that goes on here. Not really. In reality, I just kind of let everything happen.
I mean, look, man, the ship is moving.
Me.
I think that I think where we're at right now,
The best time in No Jumpers recent history. We can respect the SoundCloud era when I was just getting all these interviews. We can respect the Melrose era where everything was crazy as fuck every day. But this time period right now, I'm just saying, it may have been bigger number-wise during the COVID, AD, T-Rel, et cetera era, but right now is the most interesting time, I think, in the history of No Jumper. We got the WAC arc continuing on, most successful show in No Jumper history.
Yeah.
We got 4 Extra out here doing his thing, refusing to compromise. We got 607 Unk being a freaky bisexual witch doctor. We got the Lush slowly crumbling and falling apart on camera, buzzballs to the face. We got, the Aunt Hefe, Munchie B, No Jumper show unfolding. We've got Brandon,
antagonizing,
the antagonist, intellectual,
he owned that spot,
whatever. And we have huge plans. This is something that I want you to get in on. This is what's going to happen soon. I'll just think out loud because who cares? And this is actually a meeting that I just had with Josh. But basically, like, we need new blood here. We need new faces constantly coming in and out here. So this is our plan. We get a lot of people in here one day. We're going to do a casting call to get different people to come who want to be a part of this, right? Saturday morning, we get all these people in here, all these different guys who want to be No Jumper hosts, who want to be tested. I was thinking, like, we could have them compete on physical activities or create different interesting competitions. But then when I thought about that, who cares? Who cares who's the fastest? Who cares who's the strongest? This means nothing. What matters